down Main Street. They made a right onto Main Street. Flower.
Or what were they doing?
Cooperative, but what do you say?
What were they doing?
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
He was slapping her?
Yes, and then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car, and they drove off.
Okay, you said it's a white van?
White van. I give you the license plate. Just give me 1 sec.
Welcome to Reporter Room, where we seek truth and justice. My name is Jessica Della Davies. I'm an investigative journalist, and today we're going to discuss Brian Laundrie and his connections to the Moab murders of Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner. The fact that the FBI search of the Laundrie Parents' phone revealed that there was one weapon missing, and the fact that authorities are still investigating the Gabby Petito case. Everything I'm about to share with you today is my opinion, and opinions are not facts, so please do not send any negativity to anyone, anytime, anywhere. Let's be kind, compassionate, and caring to each other. Did the Laundrie Parents help Brian cover up what happened to Gabby, Kylen, and Crystal? These are important questions, and we need answers. Before we go any further, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, because this case is moving quickly and I don't want you to miss anything. So authorities say that details from Brian's autopsy may not be made public or released until law enforcement has finished their investigation. This tells us that authorities are still actively investigating whether or not crimes may have been committed by Brian and possibly others. So who do you think the others are? Maybe his parents? Do you think investigators may be looking into whether anyone, especially his parents, may have helped Brian evade police and go into hiding? Is this why they haven't released Brian's time of death yet? If you haven't watched my video series, Is Brian a Serial Killer?, you will want to see that next, because I go into extensive details in this 4-part series on what happened to Kylen and Crystal in Moab, and I will link it for you in the description below. There are also questions about what Brian's parents and sister really knew about his whereabouts prior to his September 13th disappearance. First, did they report him missing on the correct day? Because originally they said he went missing on Tuesday, and then later they changed it to Monday. Did the parents find out there was surveillance and then change their story to match the video surveillance? Was it an honest mistake? If your son went missing along with a weapon, would you remember the exact day? There are so many questions about the Laundrie Parents. Why were they able to locate his remains so quickly after authorities spent weeks searching for Brian? The water receded, but not all in one day. Interesting and strange. Without any further explanation or any details, the Laundrie family attorney, Stephen Bertolino, told the media that Laundrie Parents have been cooperating with the FBI since day one of Brian's disappearance. But we didn't even get an honest answer about which day was day one of Brian's disappearance. Meanwhile, the parents said nothing about what happened to Gabby Petito and refused to answer any questions about her disappearance. Her parents, Gabby Petito's parents, were reaching out to the Laundrie Parents to find out if they knew where Gabby was, and instead of responding, they went camping to Fort DeSoto Park. Let's look at Laundrie Parents' discrepancies. 1. They didn't disclose to the public that a gun was missing from their home. When asked about this, Bertolino told the Daily Mail they didn't want people to go in a panic. Really? So it was to protect the public because they knew we would all go into a frenzy? So it was for our sake that they didn't tell the truth? I'm going to reveal what I think happened at the end, so please stay with me. 2. We know Brian passed of a self-inflicted wound, and this raises more questions about what happened to Kylen and Crystal, doesn't it? Why were authorities so quick to declare that Brian was not involved in the case of Kylen and Crystal? We know he had a motive. Recall the August 12th police stop outside after the altercation at the Moonflower Grocery Co-op? Well, Kylen was working as a cashier that day. We know Brian and Gabby were working on a blog across the street that morning. For sure, Brian would have seen Kylen, and he wouldn't have known who called the police on him after witnesses saw him slapping Gabby. So where is the weapon Brian used for his self-inflicted injury? Bertolino, the family lawyer, says that after the Laundrie Parents officially reported Brian as missing on September 17th, they were also surrendering 5 or 6 guns that they had stored in their home, but one was missing. Is this what Brian used on himself? We know Brian was found with a backpack and notebook. So where is it? It should have been with his things. It should have been with him. 4. Are ballistics being checked against Kylen and Crystal? Both the double homicide of Kylen and Crystal, along with the August 12th traffic stop of Brian and Gabby by Moab police, have left the community uneasy. So, is this why they so quickly ruled Brian out of the case? Did they put tourism ahead of justice? Was it for the same reason that they withheld the fact that Brian was armed? Was this all to prevent a public frenzy? 5. Who owns the Samsung cell phone found at Kylen and Crystal's crime scene? We know the Laundrie Parents went to the AT&T store when Brian returned home after what happened to Gabby. What did he do to Gabby? And why did Brian need a new cell phone? Speaking with News Nation, retired FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer said, quote, "I think the Laundries have possible culpability under 18 U.S.3, which is accessory after the fact, and also possibly after 18 U.S.C.1519, which is obstruction in terms of if they tampered with any evidence after the crime was committed." We know that Gabby's van was sitting in the garage, in their garage. Did they clean it? Was the van wiped down when authorities confiscated it? Why is Stephen Bertolino, the Laundrie family attorney, so confident that he can say that he doesn't anticipate any legal trouble for the Brian Laundrie family? This is in contrast to what the attorney for Gabby's family is stating. Richard Stafford is saying that prosecutors were considering adding additional charges to this case, and this comment was released after Brian's autopsy results were announced. The family was asked not to comment and to let the FBI continue their investigation and allow the U.S. Attorney's Office to make a determination on whether any additional individuals will be charged. So the FBI is going to be allowed to continue their investigation to determine whether any additional individuals will be charged. Do you think this is the Laundrie family? Are they the additional information? Please don't forget on Wednesdays to join me for Killer Coffee and Crime Chat live streams at 3 p.m. New York time. It's every Wednesday, so put on your PJs, grab yourself some snacks and coffee, and let's cozy up and chat. Also, I have an awesome Reporter Room true crime group on Facebook if you're interested. Many people have been skeptical about whether or not Brian's involvement in what happened to Kylen and Crystal was a fact or a fiction, and Reporter Room has been reporting on this from the beginning. So let's look at the 2 times Brian went running home to his parents in Northport, Florida. The first time was August 17th, just one day after Kylen and Crystal were reported missing by coworkers, and one day before they were found. The second time was September 1st, when Brian hightailed it home, leaving Gabby's remains in Wyoming. Now we know he had a weapon. So Brian had a motive which was revenge for being reported to authorities, leading to the August 12th police stop. He had an opportunity because the police put him at the Bowen Motel, which is just 2 minutes down the road from the Moonflower Co-op and 7 minutes from Woody's Tavern, where the women were last seen alive. Now we know that Brian's had means, which is the weapon. What do you think happened to Kylen and Crystal? The one person who could tell us where Brian was on August 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th was Gabby. And we know what happened to her. Is this why? I do believe that these cases seem like they're connected. Moab hasn't had anything like this happen in decades. We know that Brian was hitchhiking around after Gabby's passing or Gabby's disappearance. We know he was picked up by Miranda Baker and Norma Jean Javlovec. And so now we know that there was a similar mode of the way that he extinguished his own life and mode of how Kylen and Crystal were extinguished. You guys know I have to watch how and what I say. So if you think there is a coincidence, let me know. If you believe these cases are connected, let me know. Subscribe and leave me a comment. Thanks for watching.